I think I'm back, but what am I even back to? What the fuck? Internet ran out in the whole apartment. My girlfriend was like, my TV isn't working. Jack shit isn't working. Fucking shit. Am I back? Are we back? God. The Swifties got me, you say? The Swifties got me. Oh my God. You have no idea how much I was cursing. You have no idea.
May Allah awaken the people.
No idea. The fuck, bro. The actual fuck. Thank you for the level 5 hype train. What the fuck? Jocula sent in 5 gift subs and you killed my stream. Jocula is the biggest hate watcher, I swear to God. The fucking energy, the Jocula energy murdered me. Thank you, Hangju. Thank you very much for the 9 months. Get fucked. You too, you cunt. What the shit. Yes, and we're all ardent capitalists now because you left for 3 seconds. It was longer. I don't think I've ever had like a cut-off interlude that was that long. Ever. Ever. The anti-Scot ultras going at it again. The Albanian Swifties cut the internet. No, not the Albanian Swifties. Fucking shit fuck. That was very annoying. That was exceptionally annoying. Anyways, we lost like half of our people, but the strongest remain, and they are loyal, brother. They are loyal indeed. So I guess let's continue shit talking, stupid ass, fucking motherfucking whatever, fucking like celebrities and shit. What were we talking about previously? I don't even remember. Viltru might chat.
To those on tour with her.
So Taylor Swift brought in $2 billion in revenue from ticket sales for the Eras tour, and she donated 10%.
Did you get banned? Yeah, imagine. Like, shit talks, spends a year talking about how, you should take out capitalists and... But then talks about Taylor Swift for 2 seconds, gets banned.
Percent of that to her crew.
Surprising each of the 50-plus truck drivers on her tour with bonus checks for $100,000.
So, to be clear, Taylor Swift gave around $5 million away to the truck drivers in a tour where she made $2 billion.
So let's get into it. So it says Taylor Swift's net worth is $1.3 billion. If she stopped working and withdrew 4% safe withdrawal rate of her net worth annually, her income would be $52 million a year. At that rate, the value of $1 to the average person in the U.S. is the same as $878 to Taylor. So here we go, bitch. An iPhone 15 Pro Max is $1,199, right? For Taylor Swift, in her POV, it's
more of this energy, please.
So the Eras Tour truck driver bonus was $100,000. But for Tay-Tay, girl, that was $113, bitch. That $113, girl. $113 is Christmas at Ross, okay?
A big issue I see here is that tipping your bus drivers or giving a bonus to your dancers or those on tour with you is not sharing in the profits.
Swifties are like house slaves, but woke.
She made $2 billion from this tour, and she did not give away nearly enough of it, right? I actually don't know if the profit was $2 billion, but I highly doubt that she gave away enough because she's still a billionaire. And these are all the people that made her tour possible in the first place. And I haven't even mentioned the material harm she does to the planet and the ecosystem by being...
It's called House Elf, okay?
the world's largest private jet polluter. I'm not one to individualize issues. I want to attack systems. But in the case of billionaires, they are the system. They create systems. At the level of inequality they're at, they are single-handedly destroying the planet most of the time.
Taylor Swift's been named the most polluting celebrity in the world for the second year in a row. Taylor Swift is threatening to sue a college kid who's been monitoring carbon emissions from private jets. Recently, I talked about Taylor Swift purchasing carbon credits for her Eras tour, to which a lot of you replied, "The fuck is a carbon credit?" Corporations and wealthy individuals can actually buy their way.
Yeah, seriously? You can quote a Taylor Swift song from beginning to end, but you don't know what a carbon credit is?
Out of
Kids these days, making my day, we would hate all the rich people, not depending on how they made the money.
polluting the planet. Let's say there's a corporation, let's call it TS Enterprises. TS Enterprises wants to put on a big concert. They'll put together an estimate of how much environmental impact that concert is going to have. Then they'll go to a company selling carbon credits and say, hey, we estimate that this concert's going to emit about 1 million tons of carbon into the atmosphere. We'd like to buy 1 million carbon credits from you and call it even. The carbon credit company will do things like plant trees or sequester carbon from the atmosphere in the hopes of offsetting all the damage being done. The carbon credit company says, yep, sounds good, and they all go to bed happy at night, except, of course, for the planet, which continues to burn because you can't math yourself out of climate change.
Not only is her jet pollution actually insane, the next thing is a little bit worse, and something that Rihanna is guilty of too, maybe to a worse degree, and it's merchandise. Taylor Swift made $500 million in the first few months of 2020.
Okay, there we go. Fucking 17 minutes into the video. That's what you're supposed to hit, okay? That's what you're supposed to hit. They made money by exploiting labor. That's why we don't like them. Not because they got fancy fucking flashy shit, bro.
I can't imagine the whole lifetime or what she's made recently because it's a lot. Clothing is a massive polluter to the planet. Fast fashion destroys the earth, but that's not what this video is about. There's plenty of videos about that. My issue in this video is the practices she uses in making it, because that further...
You don't even have to talk about more radical or fucked up practices. End of conversation. She is using labor. We stop talking. It's unethical. Next. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
There's the broken systems that allow...
What's up, lesbian hot sauce? Hope you're doing good.
...billionaires to exist. Because how can a person make that much money from merch if it's ethical at all? Spoiler, you can't.
A lot of Taylor's merch is made by a company called Bravado, which is a subsidiary of Universal Music Group, or UMG. Questions we can ask to better understand the ethics of this process include: who is making this merch? How much are they compensated? And what materials are being used to create this merch? Spoiler alert, mostly not recycled materials, with merch labels confirming this. An article by Reza Farahani suggests that one of the most harmful types of waste is textile waste because of the fast fashion industry, which is responsible for about 10% of global carbon emissions. Mass production requires large amounts of energy, which usually results in air pollution, and the production process often produces hazardous waste that can contaminate water sources and soil. Mass manufacturing can also require raw materials such as plastics, metals, and chemicals, often from unsustainable resources, leading to deforestation and habitat destruction. With Taylor's massive global fan base tuning into her merch drops, her merch sales may exacerbate these environmental problems.
All right, I'm going to be honest. This isn't even a Taylor Swift only problem or even close to it. This is kind of like an entertainment industry problem, or anyone who makes merch, like content creators. And I just want to prove how. Because when I did merch, it wasn't that hard for me to find union-made, ethically sourced blanks in the United States, printed at like a family print shop, and then pay my designers part of the profit of the shirts that they made possible. Problem is, a lot of creators don't even do the bare minimum. We need to have creators demand manufacturers pay their employees a fair, livable wage. And we need people to not just settle for whatever the largest profit margin is. There's more to life than just making a big profit. Moving on from that, we have to talk about the queen of unethical merchandise business practices, Rihanna. Another person who does small acts of kindness or charity to absolve herself of perpetuating and harming the broken planet.
Rihanna just donated $15 million to environmental justice causes. Just, in case you needed yet another reason to love her. Through her Clara Lionel Foundation, 18 climate justice organizations, including Climate Justice Alliance, the Indigenous Environmental Network, and the Movement for Black Lives.
Rihanna, a billionaire, gave the equivalent of $600 for the average American to her own charity. Oh boy. It's a good thing her charity is like climate focused because her merchandise is wrecking the planet. This is like such a small step towards fixing that wrong. Oh man.
If your ethical practices are worse than Shein, then the bar must be in hell. And just for your reference, Shein is doing better than Fashion Nova, Kohl's, Walmart, Children's Place, and Amazon.
According to Remake, Savage X Fenty's super low score comes from the fact that it blatantly ignores industry standards for social and environmental disclosures, meaning that Savage X Fenty doesn't even tell us what it's trying to do to address these issues. No carbon emissions reports, no effort to move away from the oil-based synthetic materials that most of its products use, and no clear protections for factory workers' health and safety.
We do also have to talk about the GOAT. Just kidding. LeBron James like only has the LeBron James Foundation, but other than that, he dodges criticism by like just being really good at basketball, which is like valid, I guess. That's like, I guess it's a good way to dodge criticism. I do feel the need though to mention Bill Gates and Warren Buffett because I talked about them at the intro of this and I mentioned how they have like pledges and stuff. And a lot of very wealthy people have...
Listen, this is not complicated. The difference between Rihanna and Bill Gates obviously is in the number of billions generated, and then Rihanna is cool, Bill Gates is not. Okay? That's it. That's the difference between those two capitalists. One made cool music and looks cool and like is edgy. The other one is not. That's it.
Signed on to things like this, and it's where they pledge to give away 99% of their wealth when they die or approach death.
How much do you think you've given away?
I've given over 100 billion, but I still have more to give. I mean, I will give away, the vast majority of my money. It's...
When did Bill make music? Have you ever started up a Windows computer?
My full-time focus for the rest of my life.
But that means nothing because 99% of a gazillion dollars is still a gazillion dollars left over. To be fair, though, Bill Gates did actually give away half of his wealth recently to his ex-wife.
Bill and Melinda Gates are joining a number of other wealthy couples splitting up after decades-long marriages. Theirs is reportedly an amicable one, but it will be costly.
Oh, and Jeff Bezos did too.
Kenzie was already married to the world's richest man, but after this divorce, she's going to be one of the world's wealthiest women.
All jokes aside, the truth is Bill Gates or most ultra-wealthy people aren't doing charity because they need a shield from criticism. They're so wealthy that it doesn't matter. Or that they actually want to save the planet or anything. It's usually because they're narcissistic or they're trying to hold on to their wealth. Which, here's a really good clip about Buy, Borrow, Die from ProPublica because it does touch on the charity aspect.
Step 1, buy. The ultra wealthy buy an asset.
I made a whole, one of my first videos ever exactly on this. I mean, it's probably shit now. This video, what was it? Literally, charities and capitalism. From like a million years ago. Jesus Christ. This video. Don't watch it. It probably sucks. It's so old. Fuck me.
Build a company or inherit a fortune. As long as they don't sell, they owe no taxes. They keep their income as low as possible, since every dollar they earn can be taxed. Step 2, borrow. They borrow against their holdings, and the bank gives them a really good deal.
I'll loan you $10 million with only 3% interest. But if you take a $10 million salary from your company, you'll owe almost 37% to the IRS.
So the ultra-wealthy use loan money to fund their lifestyles. That's how a billionaire can live the most luxurious life imaginable while reporting little to no taxable income. Step 3, die. When they die, these lucky few often use complicated trusts and philanthropic foundations.
How long ago did you start making videos? 6 years ago. 6 years ago, yeah. I haven't made many. I've made 40 videos, 40.
To avoid the estate tax. And their heirs can inherit stocks and other assets tax-free.
Charity is not the main issue with Buy, Borrow, Die, but it is one that billionaires use all the time. For example, a recent one would be the CEO of Patagonia. You know, they make jackets and pants and shirts for outdoor wear. Well, the CEO of Patagonia, who's a billionaire, decided he wanted to save the world when he dies and give all his money to like a climate-forward charity. It just so happens that the charity he chose is run by his family. Wow, I definitely don't think that was set up or anything.
98% of the shares Chenard donated were given to a brand new environmental nonprofit he formed called the Holdfast Collective. The other 2%, though, were Chenard's voting shares. These are the shares that let you actually control what the company does. And these shares were given to something called the Patagonia Purpose Trust, which is solely controlled by Chenard and his family. What this means is that even though all the headlines said Chenard was donating the company to charity, he and his family will continue to control Patagonia forever. You know, I didn't know that was how donations worked. When I donate my car to 1-800-CARS-FOR-KIDS, I can't show up the next weekend and take it for a joyride. But Ivan and his family can. Now, the family did have to pay about $17 million in gift taxes to execute this maneuver, but don't forget, they already saved $1.2 billion by donating the other 98% to charity. So they came out roughly $1.2 billion ahead.
Outside of maintaining wealth or taxes or anything, another reason for large charity endeavors is because billionaires love feeling important, like they know something about systems or whatever that the average person doesn't, when in reality, they just have money. Here, let me read you an excerpt really quick from an article by Tim Schwab over at The Nation. It's not that Gates isn't well-intentioned or that his charitable interventions have never helped anyone. Clearly, the tens of billions of dollars the Gates Foundation has given away have helped people at times and, yes, saved lives. But these wins should be viewed at best as a thin silver lining in a very dark cloud. At some point, we should understand that humanitarianism aimed at real human progress, equality, justice, freedom, requires us to challenge unaccountable power and illegitimate leaders, not worship them. And that means Bill Gates is a problem and not a solution. This quote is actually at the end.
Even if it wasn't for laundering money, a capitalist contributing to charity, let's imagine that he actually gives money to people in need, etc., etc., is akin to running a work camp in which you make $1 million, you give 50,000 to the people in the work camp, and then next year you come back while still working them and tell them, yo, here's another 100,000 because I'm such a good person. But it cannot be deemed charity when it comes from the hand of the capitalist, because the money they have to give out is other people's money. It's like me stealing $10 from you while wearing this mask, but then seeing you on the next day and you're like, yo, bro, I got robbed yesterday. This motherfucker took $10 from me. And being like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Here's $5. I'm still $5 in profit from robbing you, my dude. So even in the best case scenario, where they are actually contributing to certain causes, etc., most of those causes would not exist because that would not be a problem if not for labor value theft. And it's usually more like, here's 20 cents. Absolutely.
End of a really long article that talks about Bill Gates and other billionaires and how they use their philanthropic endeavors to leverage developing nations or even local governments or systems. Their acts of philanthropy are often used to justify how they know more about African agriculture or virology. The ultra-wealthy are often not scientists or researchers. They're just dudes who hire those people. And another thing that you will often hear as an argument defending billionaires or wealthy people in their philanthropy is the argument of, would you rather not have them do it? And the answer is, of course, no, but that's a disingenuous argument because in a good system or government,
I would rather not get robbed in general so I don't have to go around begging for money.
There is no necessity for charity or philanthropy like this. And the reason that these systems exist in the first place are usually because of the ultra wealthy. A proper government takes care of its citizens. That's all it's designed to do. It is not a business built for profit. By the way, a lot of these developing countries with broken governments or systems are that way because of billionaires in Western countries destabilizing them or facilitating facilitating civil wars or whatever. Because after a civil war, it's much easier to extract them.
Bro, I have worked inside charities my entire life, from working with kids, sexual violence victims, homelessness, now in international humanitarian stuff. I am so tired. People in my area of work are always trying to fix the effects of the broken system, but we can't change the cause, and neither can the people we support. It's pretty demoralizing in the long run. We either go mad because we can't change the shit we need to for proper change to happen, or turn off feelings. I completely understand you. Still, thank you for everything you've done, but I completely understand you. Because at the end of the day, and I'm sure you know this, by the way, everybody follow Lesbian Hot Sauce, friend of the show and fellow streamer as well, with experience, as you can see, in charity work. Because the deep down, you know that you're putting Band-Aids on a tumor, right? So it's still relatively decent stuff. You know, you're putting Band-Aids, you know, it's helping out a little bit, but the wound is too fucking gaping and deep. And the more you realize it, the more it makes you disassociate from your work and feel like you're contributing, but not as much as you would want to. And that's also alienation. That's alienation there, my friend. So yeah, it's fucked. This is completely, there's no winning. There's no fucking winning. Because the system is completely inhuman and fucking rigged.
The minerals out of that country, or to get cheap labor.
The term banana war refers to the U.S. military.
Yeah, basically, and often people will be hyper aware of the issue, usually colonialism and capitalism, and it feels like so big. I mean, thanks for these spaces, because it makes me feel less alone and less insane. Very important. The latter part, very, very important.
Interventions in countries like Honduras and Nicaragua, driven by American business interests, particularly the United Fruit Company.
One thing I'm not saying is don't give to charity. You should be giving to charity if you can, or volunteering. I believe in communal organization and mutual aid. Charities are great for you and me, but they only exist because of a system that is fundamentally broken. A system created by those who cannot fathom the idea of sacrificing a little bit of profit to benefit the people. You're probably wondering, what do we do about this problem? And asking for solutions when it comes to the ultra wealthy or the bureaucracy that we have. All jokes aside, let me give you an idea. And if you've watched my Twitch streams or the last 2 videos I've uploaded, I might sound like a little bit of a broken record. The reality is, there shouldn't even be a discussion about ethical billionaires, because as I've established throughout this video, they don't and can't exist. We should shun those who ever think billionaires do good things. We should stop glorifying wealth and
not just shun, make fun of them. They are financial cuckolds and should be kink shamed for the freaks that they are.
Treating it as a measurement of success. It is not. It is a measurement
because usually glazing billionaires comes from the egoistic drive of believing that one day you can become them. So it's basically you really, really thinking that you're a Sigma, but actually you're a beta cuck. And the main way to fight Sigmas is to tell them that their behavior is very beta cuck behavior. So yeah, motherfuckers be thinking they're Sigmas for loving billionaires, but actually they're beta cucks. And when you tell them that, a little bit of class consciousness might start to arise, or they might go in which case they're a lost case.
Narcissism.
Lost cause.
And I have to be honest, I don't think Taylor Swift, LeBron, or Rihanna are nearly as evil as those who truly make the systems worse. I think they've kind of just taken advantage of what they had and the opportunity they had, and in turn, what's
wrong with being a beta? Dude, I'm using toxic, idiotic, nonsensical fucking allegories. Come on, Jesus Christ.
Aspirated the problem. And they are hoarding an immense amount of wealth, and that is...
As Yugopnik once famously said, there's nothing wrong with being a cuck, but there's everything wrong with being a financial cuck.
immoral. You do not need $1 billion. I don't care who you are. Though those three aren't as evil, by the way, as the others, they still are guilty. They sit on their hands instead of using their immense wealth to fundamentally change the systems that allow billionaires to exist. I do know that there's going to be a lot of commenters talking about the government, and I do admittedly in this video. And it's because most governments are systems that allow billionaires to exist in the first place. These governments never have you or me in mind. They have Elon and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and whoever the CEO of Raytheon is or Boeing. A just government who actually cares about its people would never allow people like this to exist. They would never allow the privatization of the essentials for your life. No private org or person should own water or housing or food. These are things that you have to keep on breathing. So how can we let someone hold that over your head and then reap the rewards? If dying was a legitimate option, like some people say, well, then the human race would be extinct. And no, before people say the solution is no government, that's idiotic. The solution is a government with accountability, run by those who work the factories or make the programs or whatever for anything you use in your life. People that understand what it's like to be you. A major problem that we have right now is not everyone starts at the same starting line. Some are born with a massive head start. And all I believe is that everyone should start from the same place. If you work hard, you should make more. And if you don't work at all, well, you shouldn't die. Ultimately, we all get hurt, tired, and sick. And you shouldn't lose your life because you couldn't make it to work. You are unique and amazing, but you're not special or invincible or any better than anyone else. A phrase I'm reminded of in relation to this is couldn't be me. And that really only applies to being a billionaire, because everything else can happen to you. Being a billionaire, though, I'm about 100% certain you never will be. And with that out of the way, it's finally the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you in the comment.
Thank you, everybody. Go check out very underrated channel. I'm wondering your thoughts on Bernie and his touring the country and the speeches. At the moment, I'm frustrated because I think it will just funnel into the Dems for like the fourth time and not work, and not especially socialist. When my take is when Bernie was actually running campaigns against establishment Democrats, it was a working class movement. It was actually funneling people into socialist ways of thinking, and it was to an extent materially generating a sort of alternative. But whenever Bernie is not actually running against his competition in the Democratic Party, but agitating for the Democratic Party, it does the opposite, and most of the time removes a lot of the good work that he had done previously by taking the now potentially more radicalized socialists that his campaigns might have created and reintroducing them to the Democratic Party establishment. So two different cases, and yes, now actively touring for them in the context of Gaza, in the context of the Joe Biden administration in general. It is it is damaging the funnel that I like talking about so much. Not only damaging it, it's pushing people in the opposite direction. So, TLDR, Hugo's takes on Bernie. When Bernie was running campaigns, very based. When Bernie is not running campaigns, but individual campaigns, but pushing people towards the Democratic Party without him being an option or an actual any type of socialist being an option. Very cringe and very shit and borderline reactionary, in my modest opinion. So yeah, he should just retire. Unironically, the most he could do for the cause right now is to unironically retire. Unironically. And with that, we bring today's to a motherfucking close. It was a lovely stream. I will see you tomorrow. The one thing I want all of you to go and do is support my me and my mods' awesome fucking Yugopnik live channel, and subscribe. They are posting very good videos. The quality just keeps fucking improving, and I think you would genuinely enjoy watching it on your off time or whenever I'm not streaming. So this is your task for today from your boy Yugo. Go and subscribe now. Go and subscribe. Okay? Understood? Okay, understood. Go subscribe. Make number go up. Make number go up. I want to see number go up. Go subscribe. Number go up. Very good. Put bread in mods' bellies. Put bread in my belly. Everybody very happy. Make more communists, potentially. Very хорошо, very good. Now, I will send you over to my bro Rob Ross. I haven't rated him in a second. Go. Be loud. Be proud. Don't be annoying. And I will see you tomorrow. The same place, same time. We're going to do some fun shit tomorrow. It might be a Chud watch. I haven't done a Chud watch in a second. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good one. Mwah, mwah, mwah.